see the falling, falling. I see them all, the fallen few. Rest your hair, you fallen child. Take my bed.
According to representatives with the Springfield Police Department, around 2:45 a.m. Friday, a man called 911 claiming that he had murdered his wife 2 days ago.
I shot my wife in the temple of her head. I thought I killed her. I put her in the freezer out in the garage where I checked on her tonight, and she's not dead.
A man calls 911 and says, I killed my wife 2 days ago and I put her in the freezer, but she is still alive. This is a bizarre true crime story of Joseph and Samantha Parker. Hello, my name is Holly, and this is the Murder She Shed, the place we honor the dead right from my she shed. Just make sure you push my subscribe button. You know you want to. Go ahead, push it real good. Oh, push it real good. Sorry, sometimes being an 80s child, I regress back to the 80s. I apologize you had to hear that. Anyway, just push it, and I won't have to sing to you again. That's a plus for you, and a plus for me, and probably a plus for my dog Simon in the floor. 45-year-old Joseph Parker and 44-year-old Samantha Parker have been married for 12 years, and they had one adult daughter who had 2 kids. On the information I could find, Samantha and Joseph are her biological parents, so I'm assuming they either were not married when they had their daughter, or they divorced and then remarried, since it says they were only married 12 years, but they had an adult daughter. The couple lived at Clydesdale Lane home in Springfield, Tennessee. The neighbors described Joseph Parker as a very stern man who kept to himself. They were said to have been very quiet, the kind of people who never left the blinds open. Joseph could be seen outside working on his car or the yard, but would only throw a nod if he saw his neighbors outside. Joseph worked as a salesperson at Rivergate Toyota in Springfield. Samantha kept an immaculate home and usually was a homebody, but her daughter said she was fun and loving, and she loved Alabama football. She worked part-time in a local convenience store, but her husband was the main breadwinner. Before the awful events that occurred at the home, Joseph had an awful month. He had lost his job at the Toyota dealership, and then the Parkers' home went into foreclosure. Joseph was very depressed during the fall of 2014. Even with all that going on, the couple still threw a birthday party for their grandchild at their house, which may have been the last great day for the couple. On November 7th, 2014, the night of Samantha and Joseph's 12-year anniversary, Joseph finally snapped. Here is that 911 call from 2:35 in the morning from Joseph. It is quite strange and really terrifying.
911 location of your emergency.
Yeah, 246 Clydesdale Lane.
In Springfield?
Clydesdale.
You're in Springfield?
Yeah, Springfield, Tennessee. It's right behind Oakland Farms.
Okay, what's going on?
All right, this is what's happened. Been married 12 years. On the 4th, which would have been 2 nights ago at 4 a.m., I shot my wife in the temple of her head. I thought I killed her. And I put her in the freezer out in the garage where I checked on her tonight, and she's not dead. She's got a big hole in the temple of her head, and to get her body moved around in there, I think I broke her wrist. You know, she was frozen from being in the thing. She's been in this thing 48 hours now. This is no prank call. I need somebody to get out there and help her. I've cleared the premises. I've got away. You know, I'm not going to be there. But I promise you this is a legit call, and I need somebody to get out there and help her because I still love her. Just it's hard to believe that after that, But I need to get somebody out there to help her.
Okay, what happened that caused you to do that?
It's a long story. Don't want to get into it. Just want to get into getting somebody out there to help her. I left the front door open. I left all the lights on in the house, so it would be kind of easy to spot. It's the last house on the right on Clydesdale Lane. But I left the front door open, and she's in the garage. You go through the kitchen to get into the garage, and you'll see her once you get in the garage. And she's a mess. She can't talk. I could get her to blink. Blink once means yes. Blink twice means no. And so I told her I'm gonna go around the road 10, 15 miles. I'm gonna call 911 and get you some help out here. I thought she'd been dead 2 days, and when I checked on her, she was still alive. She's been frozen for 2 days. She's frozen solid. It's amazing she's still alive. She's got a big hole in the temple of her head. I shot her with a .38 caliber, and there's a big hole in the temple of her head. I didn't see an exit wound.
What is her name?
Samantha Parker.
Is she a white female?
Yes.
How old is she?
43 years old.
And how long ago did you leave there?
An hour ago.
And that's the last time you saw her?
Yes, that's the last time I saw her.
And she was still in the garage?
Yes, she's still in the garage. I made her as comfortable as I could make her. She tried to drink a little water. She couldn't talk, couldn't move her jaw. She's in bad shape. Really need to get somebody out there to help her.
And the address is 246 Clydesdale Lane?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what is your name?
My name is Joe. I'll just leave it at that. Don't want to get arrested tonight and all that. So we don't have a history of domestic disputes. We've never had to call the police or nothing. We just had a real bad night a couple of nights ago, and I was waving down. Got myself in trouble. So anyway, really need somebody to get out there and help her.
Okay, we'll send somebody out there to her.
Yeah, I mean, it's like urgent. I think she's dying. She got a big hole where the temple of your head is. You know what I mean?
Right.
So please, I love her. I still love her. I've loved her every day I've been married to her. She's had a rough stretch here. So anyway, I checked on her and she's still alive. And now I want to get her somebody to help her that knows what they're doing. And I got to stay out of trouble too. So.
Okay, we'll send somebody out there.
All right, what was your first name?
I'm not going to give you my name, sir.
Okay, that's fine. Hey, make a note on there. I left the front door open, and all the lights are on. And you go to the garage, she can't yell for you. She can't yell. But you go to the garage still. And that's where you'll see her once you get to the garage.
Okay. We'll send somebody out there.
If she needs, paramedics, she needs everything. She needs an ambulance. She needs trauma. She's trauma. She's a trauma base. She might need a helicopter. So please get somebody to her.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
When officers arrived at the family's Clydesdale Lane home, they found the body of Joseph's wife, Samantha, in an upright freezer, partly dismembered. One of the officers stated that it was one of the most horrific scenes of his life. Joseph was nowhere to be found. Authorities confirmed there was no possibility of her being alive when Joseph had made that 911 call. It isn't clear why he thought she was alive, whether he was just so psychotic by that point or his guilt wanted her to be alive, no one knows. He had attempted to give her a drink of water, so in his head he truly believed she was. Maybe he just couldn't accept what he had done. Samantha had been shot in the head, but authorities were not sure where she was actually killed out, considering how clean the house was. Authorities said it was immaculate, not a speck of dust, spotless. It was a real estate clean. After the discovery of his wife's body, dispatchers called Joseph back at about 3:45 a.m., and he told them he was on the interstate headed to Chattanooga to visit his friends. Police were able to ping Joseph's cell phone in Nashville. Sometime during that time while he's traveling, he called his former workplace and threatened to kill multiple people that worked there. Authorities worried that Joseph would come back to the car dealership and do just what he said, so they set up command there. Joseph pulled over around Marker 7 on Highway Interstate 65 at the Kentucky and Tennessee border and unalived himself before officers could reach him. So we may never truly understand why he lost it that night. The couple's daughter says she's not angry and forgives her father. She also said they showed me what I would like to have in a marriage someday. I hope she means minus that day. The daughter stated it's through the grace of God she learned to forgive. So, rest in peace, Samantha Parker. Unfortunately, there has not been a lot of details released in this case. The police shut the case too early, and they never uncovered the full data about the homicide case. So, sadly, that's all I can give you today. I told you it was short, but quite strange. But I thought the 911 call was worth a listen. We just don't know what goes on in people's head. I mean, it sounds like he had never had a spell like this before. What made him suddenly crack? Did depression get to that point? I don't understand why, if you're going to unalive yourself, you don't just unalive yourself. Why do you got to take others out with you? I'll never understand that. I guess even if I was in a depressive state, which I have been before, I would never think about taking others' life, even if I thought about taking my own. I can't imagine taking anybody else's. I don't know if things like this can ever be explained. Anyway, I love you guys, and I hope y'all have a grand, amazing, blessed week. Bye, y'all. Have a great day. Have a great day. Bye.
All the fallen few, rest your hair, you fallen traveler. Take my bed and dream my dream.